Welcome to Historic Reasons. We bring you amazing stories from history. Subscribe and enjoy the video. Einsatzgruppen. Massacres. Nazi mobile killing squads roamed occupied Ukraine in 1942, rounding up Jewish civilians and forcing them to dig mass graves before executing them in cold blood. These units targeted thousands in brutal shootings, often in remote forests, as part of a systematic plan to eliminate entire communities. Survivors' accounts revealed the horror of families torn apart and buried together in pits that became silent witnesses to genocide. Janusz Korczak's sacrifice. A dedicated Jewish educator in Warsaw refused safe passage in 1942, choosing instead to stay with his 200 orphan children during deportation to Treblinka. He comforted them on the journey, holding their hands as they faced the unknown, showing unbreakable loyalty in their final moments. All were killed in the camp's gas chambers. But his selfless act became a symbol of courage amid overwhelming evil. Hitler's dirty dozen Nazi leaders formed special units from convicted criminals in the 1940s, unleashing them on civilians in Eastern Europe for terror and executions. These groups, inspired by brutal tactics, committed atrocities without restraint, targeting innocents in retaliation for resistance. Their actions spread fear, but the name echoes a twisted recruitment of society's outcasts into wartime horrors. Ljuboslav Parovic's defiancy young Yugoslav woman joined the partisans and became a key figure in underground work. Facing capture and torture in 1943 without breaking, she lived with her partner, a commander, blending love and revolution until her tragic end. Inspiring others in the fight against occupation, her legacy highlights women's vital roles in resistance, enduring pain for freedom's cause. Witold Pilecki's resistance. A Polish officer volunteered to enter Auschwitz in 1940, gathering secret reports on Nazi crimes while building an underground network inside the camp. He escaped after nearly 3 years, exposing horrors to the world. But post-war communists arrested and executed him in 1948 as a spy. His bravery revealed the depths of human suffering and the cost of truth in dark times. Alfred Czech's bravery at just 12 years old. This German boy used a cart to rescue wounded soldiers from battle in 1945. Earning the Iron Cross for his daring efforts. He faced capture by Soviets and returned home in 1947, only to learn his father had died, marking a sad end to his child. Heroism. His story shows how war pulled even the young into acts of courage amid chaos. Krystyna Skarbek's espionage. Fearless Polish spy worked for British intelligence, faking illness to escape Gestapo, torture and saving many lives through bold missions. She skied across borders and gathered vital secrets, but post-war life brought poverty and a lonely death in London in 1952. Her exploits proved women's strength in shadows, outwitting enemies with wit and grit. Auschwitz selections. Nazi doctors at the camp ramp judged arriving prisoners in the 1940s, deciding in seconds who would work and who faced immediate death. Families were split forever as the weak or young went to gas chambers, while others endured forced labor in harsh conditions. This cruel process stripped humanity, turning lives into numbers in a machine of destruction. Nanking Massacre. Japanese troops stormed the Chinese city in 1937, unleashing weeks of violence that claimed up to 200,000 lives. Through killings and burials, soldiers targeted civilians and prisoners, forcing many into mass graves or worse, as part of a terror campaign. The event scarred survivors, becoming a stark reminder of unchecked aggression in war. Auschwitz-Birkenau, killings in 1944. The camp's gas chambers used Zyklon B to murder around 1 million Jews, misleading victims with promises of showers. Trains brought endless arrivals, sorted for death or labor, in the Nazis' largest site of systematic extermination. Hidden horrors unfolded daily, with smoke from crematoria marking the loss of countless innocents. Cesarła Kwoka's tragedy. A 14-year-old Polish Catholic girl arrived at Auschwitz in 1942, beaten by guards and photographed with a bruised face showing her fear. Classified as undesirable, she suffered briefly before a lethal injection ended her young life in the camp's experiments. Her image captures the innocence lost, one of thousands of children silenced in the shadows. Nanking Massacre, on June 10, 1944. Nazi troops surrounded a French village, herding 643 residents into a church and barns before setting them ablaze. Women and children burned alive in the locked building, while men were shot in revenge for resistance activities nearby. The ruins stand today as a memorial to the cruelty that erased an entire community in one afternoon. Soviet veterans tribute a legless former soldier sat by Moscow's eternal flame in 1966, quietly honoring the 14 million comrades lost in the Great Patriotic War. His simple act reflected the lasting pain of survivors, many haunted by memories decades after the fighting ended. It symbolized a nation's deep scars and the quiet strength of those who endured unimaginable loss. Dam Square shooting just days after Germany's surrender. On May 7, 1945, celebrating crowds in Amsterdam faced gunfire from hidden German sailors. Up to 32 civilians died in the chaos, as people dove for cover in a moment meant for joy turned tragic. The absurd attack shattered hopes of immediate peace, leaving a city in shock amid liberation. American doctors, Compassion U.S. medics treated injured German SS soldiers on the battlefield, upholding their oath to heal despite the enmity of war. These acts of mercy showed humanity persisting, even toward foes who followed orders in a broken world. Such care reminded all that beneath uniforms, lives hung in balance, seeking survival. Prisoner camp conditions. Camps run by Japan, Germany, and the USSR imposed starvation diets under 600 calories, leading to disease and death for 1 in 3 inmates. Prisoners built railways and runways under guard, secretly journaling to cling to hope amid suffering. The shared horrors across nations exposed the war's toll on captives, forgotten in the fight. Kazimiera. Mika's grief. A 12-year-old Polish girl knelt beside her sister's body in Warsaw after a 1939 German air raid shattered their world. Her tearful confusion captured war's cruelty on innocence, turning everyday life into sudden tragedy. The image became an emblem of lost childhood, echoing civilian pain in conflict's dawn. British gas mask drills in 1941. UK children donned gas masks in school exercises, practicing amid fears of German chemical strikes. Tear gas tests prepared them for emergencies. With millions of masks distributed nationwide, these routines blended play and peril, teaching the young to face unseen threats in wartime. Hiroshima atomic bombing on August 6, 1945. The first atomic bomb leveled the city, killing 70,000 instantly and over 140,000 by year's end from radiation. Survivors, known as hibakusha, endured lifelong scars, both physical and emotional, in the ruins. The blast destroyed 70% of buildings, marking a new era of destruction and debate. Comfort women, atrocities. Japanese forces coerced 0 to 200,000 women from Asia into sexual slavery in military brothels during the 1940s, kidnapped under false promises. They faced daily abuse, unable to escape under strict watch. Their suffering highlighted hidden war crimes, with many silenced by shame long after. Shoichi Yokoi's isolation. A Japanese soldier hid in Guam's jungles for 28 years after 1944, believing the war raged on until hunters found him in 1972. He returned home, ashamed of survival, revealing the deep hold of military honor. His story showed the lasting grip of duty, even in solitude's grip. Pearl Harbor attacked. Japanese planes struck Hawaii on December 7, 1941, sinking USS Arizona and killing over 2,400. Pulling America into the war, the surprise raid destroyed ships and planes. With chaos as sailors fought amid flames, it united a nation, shifting the global conflict's tide overnight. Dachau liberation. Trauma. An 18-year-old Russian girl emerged from the camp in 1945, her blank eyes reflecting years of starvation and abuse. Freed but forever changed, she symbolized the slow healing from unimaginable pain. Recovery stretched lifetimes for many, carrying invisible wounds. Saipan. Mental exhaustion. Marines on the island in 1944 battled heat, loss, and endless fighting, leading to breakdowns from unrelenting stress. Sleep deprivation and grief pushed men to edges, with vacant stares marking inner scars. The toll lingered, highlighting wars, hidden battles on minds. IRA Hayes. Struggles. A Pima, Native American, raised the flag at Iwo Jima in 1945, becoming a hero but haunted by survivors' guilt. Post-war life brought alcohol and despair, ending in his lonely death in 1955. His fame masked deep pain, showing victory's personal cost. British soldiers, tribute in Egypt's desert. A UK trooper stood by a comrade's grave, marked by an improvised cross in the 1940s. Enemies sometimes honored foes, like a German inscription on a fallen English pilot's site. Such gestures revealed shared humanity amid endless sands and loss. Hans-Georg Henks defeats a 16-year-old German boy, serving in anti-aircraft duties, wept upon capture by Americans in 1945. Recruited in desperation as defeat loomed, his tears embodied youth stolen by war's end. The photos captured a nation's collapse through one child's face. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to leave a like to support our work and share your thoughts in the comments.